A round, pink, tender shell, opening and closing, closing and opening. My vagina is a flower, an eccentric tulip. The center, acute and deep. The scent, delicate. The petals, gentle, but sturdy. Here's the vagina having that. This is from Woman, an intimate geography by Nathalie Andre. The clitoris is pure in purpose. It is the only organ in the body designed purely for pleasure. The clitoris is simply a bundle of nerves, 8,000 nerve fibers to be precise. That is a high concentration of nerve fibers that is found anywhere else in the male or female body, including the lips, the fingertips, and the tongue. And it is twice the number found in the penis. Who needs a handgun when you got semi-automatic? Now, this monologue was based on an interview with a woman who had a good experience with a man. In hundreds of interviews with homeless women, only one woman was not sexually abused as a little girl or raped as a young woman. For many of these women, home is a very scary place, a place they have fled. The shelters are ironically the first place they ever find safety, protection, or comfort. This is one woman's story as she told it. What isn't in the story is that she met another woman in the shelter system. They fell in love. And through their love, they both got out of the shelter system. Memory, December 1965, 5 years old.
My mother tells me
in the year 2000, Eve Ensler traveled to Afghanistan. There she witnessed what misogyny would look like if it were to totally fulfill itself. Under the Taliban, women were essentially living the lives of walking corpses. This monologue is for the brave, tenured, fierce women of Afghanistan who not only survived, but who kept their country alive. This piece is not about the burqa per se. Wearing one is obviously a matter of culture and choice. It's about time and place. We've been starting to create a map of vagina-friendly sex. There are many surprises. Bet you didn't know, for example, that they love vaginas in Oklahoma City. It's important to spread that around. Mainly because they wouldn't advertise this piece there because all the papers are Christian run, and we all know that Christians don't have vaginas. But a wonderful vagina fairy tale occurred. That's a VFT, and they're happening in cities all around the world. Now, a group of fabulous women from Oklahoma City with hairdos became subversive. They handed out pocketbook-sized flyers in the parking lots of beauty salons and supermarkets. One woman from Pittsburgh became obsessed about a word, a particular word used to describe the vagina. Her mission was to reconceive the word. Sex workers have rich, compelling, complex relationships with their vagina. This one woman blows my mind. She was a sex worker. But she only did sex work
Darling, at last.
Oh, Henry, something dreadful has happened.
What's the matter?
I have lost your poems.
They weren't worthy of you. I'll write you some more.
No. No more poems for me. Oh, how could I have been so mad, so rash, so imprudent?
Thank heaven for your madness, your rashness, your imprudence.
Oh, be sensible, Henry. Can't you see what a terrible thing this is for me? Suppose someone was to find those poems. What would they think?
They would think that a man once loved a woman more devotedly than ever man loved a woman before. But they will not know what man it was.
And what good is that to me, if everyone will know what woman it was?
But how will they know?
How will they know? My name is all over them. My silly, unhappy name. Oh, why couldn't I have been Christian as a Mary Jane, or Gladys Muriel, or Beatrice, or Francesca, or Genevieve? Something quite common like that. But Aurora? I'm probably the only Aurora in London, and everyone knows it. I think I'm the only Aurora in the world, and it's so horribly easy to rhyme to it. Oh, Henry, why couldn't you have restrained your feelings in common consideration for me? Why couldn't you have written with more reserve?
Write poems to you with reserve? You ask me that?
Yes, it was very nice of you. And it was my fault just as much as yours. I ought to have known that those poems should have never been addressed to a married woman.
Ah! How I wish they had been addressed to an unmarried woman. How I wish they had.
You have no right to wish anything of the sort. Those poems are quite unfit for any woman. That's just the difficulty. Oh, what will my sister-in-laws think?
You got sisters-in-law?
Yes. Teddy has nothing but relatives. Oh, here's 6 sisters, 8 half-sisters, ever so many brothers. But it's not his brothers that I'm worried about. Oh, Henry, if you knew the least little thing about the world, you would know that in a large family, though the sisters quarrel with one another, let one of the brothers marry, and they spend the rest of their lives convincing him that his wife is unworthy of him. Oh, there ought to be a law against the sister ever entering her brother's house after he's married. I am as certain as I sit here that Georgina stole those poems from my workbox.
She will not understand them.
Oh, won't she? She'll understand them too well. She'll understand more harm than ever was in them. Nasty, vulgar-minded cat!
Oh, don't. Don't think of people in that way, and don't think of her at all. Aurora, do you remember the evening when I sat here at your feet and I read you the poems for the first time?
Yes. I should have never let you. I see that now. Oh, what will Teddy do? What will he think? Oh.
Yes, it will be a profanation.
A profanation? I don't care about profanation. You don't seem to care a thing about Teddy.
To me, Teddy is nothing and Georgina less than nothing.
You'll soon see how much less than nothing she is. If you think a woman can do no harm simply because she's a scandal-mongering ragbag, you're greatly mistaken. Oh, Henry. Oh, Henry. Please help me. Please find a way out of this for me. Oh, Henry, you have to help me. Please help me. And I'll bless you as long as I live. Oh, how wretched I am.
And oh, how happy am I.
Don't be so selfish.
Yes, I deserve that. I think if I were going to the stake with you, I should still be so happy with you that I should forget my own danger as utterly as your own.
Yes. You are a dear, darling boy. But you're of no use. Oh, if there was someone, just tell me what to do.
Your heart will tell you at the right time. I have thought deeply over this, and I know what we two must do sooner or later.
No, Henry. I will do nothing improper, nothing dishonorable.
If you did, you'd no longer be Aurora. Our course is perfectly simple, perfectly straightforward, perfectly honest and true. My God, we love one another. Now, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm ready to go out and proclaim it to all London, as simply as I will proclaim it to your husband, as you will see, as you soon will see, that this is the only way honorable enough for your feet to tread. Let us go out together, without shame, without concealment. Remember, we owe something to your husband. He has been kind to us, and we are his guests here. And perhaps he has loved you as well as his prosaic nature and sordid commercial environment permitted. We owe it to him in all honor not to let him learn the truth from the lips of a scandal monger. Let us go to him now, quietly, hand in hand, and bid him farewell, without concealment or subterfuge, freely and honestly, in full honor and self-respect.
And where shall we go to?
Well, we shall not depart by a hair's breadth from the natural current of our lives. We were on our way to the theater when the loss of Holmes compelled us to take action at once. We shall go to the theater still, but you must leave your jewels here, where we cannot afford them and do not need them.
I have already told you that I hate jewelry. Only Teddy insists on hanging them all over me. There's no need for you to preach simplicity to me.
I never thought of doing so, Darius. I know that these frivolities mean nothing to you. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Instead of coming back here from the theater, you will come with me to my home. Now and henceforth, our home. And in the due course of time, when you are divorced, we shall go through whatever legal idle ceremony you may desire, for I attach no importance to the law. My love was not created in me by the law, nor will it be loosed or bound. Is that not simple enough? Oh, Lord, is that not sweet enough? Here are your flowers. Now, I have the tickets, and we will ask your husband to lend us the carriage to show that there's no malice, no grudge. Come on.
And do you mean to propose that we should walk straight up to Teddy and tell him that we're running away together?
What can be simpler?
Please. You think he'd stand for that? He would just kill you.
My dear darling Aurora, you do not understand these things. How could you? Now, I have followed the Greek ideal and not neglected the culture of my body. Like all good poets, I possess a passion for pugilism. Your husband would make a tolerable second-round heavyweight if he were in training and 10 years younger. As it is, maybe by a burst of passion could he give a good account of himself for 15 seconds. As it is, I'm good enough to keep out of his reach for 15 seconds. And after that, I should simply be all over him.
What do you mean, all over him?
Don't ask me, Darius. I swear to you at all events, you needn't be anxious about me.
And what about Teddy? Do you mean to tell me that you're going to beat him before my face like a brutal prize fighter?
This alarm is needless. I swear to you I will do nothing, and under such circumstances, nothing ever does happen. I swear to you I will do nothing. Your husband knows that I'm capable of defending myself. The man who once loved you is a savior to me.
But doesn't he love me still? Has he told you anything?
No, darling. How unlike yourself, how agitated you are. All these worries belonging to the lower plane. Come up with me to the higher. The heights, the solitude, the soul world.
No! Stop! It's no use, Mr. Apjohn.
Mr. Apjohn?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I meant Henry, of course.
How could you even think of calling me Mr. Apjohn? I never think of you as Mrs. Bumpus. It's always Aurora. Aurora.
Yes, that's all very well, Mr. Apjohn. No, it's no use. I've suddenly begun to think of you as Mr. Apjohn. It seems ridiculous to go on calling you Henry. You know, I thought you were a little boy, a child, a dreamer. I thought you were too afraid to do anything. Now you tell me that you want to beat Teddy, break up my home, and cause me a terrible scandal in the papers? It's cruel, unmanly, cowardly.
Are you afraid?
Of course I'm afraid. And you would be too if you had any sense.
Perfect love casteth out fear. That is why I'm not afraid. Mrs. Bumpus, you do not love me.
Oh, Henry! Oh, thank you! Thank you, Henry. Oh, thank you. You really can be very nice.
Why do you think?
For calling me Mrs. Bumpus, of course. I know now that you're going to behave like a gentleman. What's the matter?
Once or twice in my life, I've dreamed that I was exquisitely happy and blessed, but oh, the misgivings at the first stir of consciousness, the stab of reality. Prison walls of the bedroom. The bitter disappointment of waking, and oh, how I thought I was awake.
Listen to me, Henry. We don't have time for this sort of flapdoodle now. Oh! My heavens! You almost knocked me over!
Beg your pardon. What is it you want me to do? I'm at your service. I'm finally ready to start acting like a gentleman. Oh, yes. If you will be so kind as to explain how.
Thank you, Henry. I knew you would. You're not angry with me, are you?
Oh, go on. Go on. Give me something to think about, or I'll...
No! Stop! No! Don't do that! Don't break my fan! That's a horrible thing to do! How inconsiderate of you!
Beg your pardon. I will buy you a new one.
You will never be able to match it. And besides, it was particularly a favorite of mine.
And you'll have to do without it. That's all.
That's not a very nice thing to say after breaking my pet fan, I think.
You knew how near I was to breaking Teddy's pet wife. You'd be thanking me that you're still alive, instead of howling about 5 shillings worth of ivory. Damn your van!
Don't you dare swear in my presence. One would think you were my husband.
This is some horrible dream! What has become of you? You are not my Aurora.
Oh. And if you should ask, what what has become of you. I would have never encouraged you had I would have known you were such a little devil.
Don't drag me down. Help me find my way back to the heights. Oh, Christ.
Oh, Henry, be reasonable. You have to remember, Henry, that I am on the brink of ruin. And I go on calmly saying, everything is all quite so simple.
Seems so simple to me.
If you say that again, I shall do something that I will be quite sorry for. Can't you suggest anything more agreeable?
No. I can suggest nothing now. The chill black darkness is falling. All I can see is the ruin of our dream.
Can you? Well, I can. I can see Georgina digging those poems into tape. Now I'm telling you, Mr. Abjon, you got me into this mess. And you better see me out of it.
Fine. All I can say is I'm entirely at your service. What is it you want me to do?
Do you know anyone else named Aurora?
No.
There's no use in answering no in that frozen pig-headed tone. You must know some other Aurora somewhere.
No. You said you're the only Aurora in the world. By God, you were the only Aurora in the world for me.
Yes, Henry. That's all very nice. I appreciate it, indeed I do. However, it's not seasonable at the present. Now, you do know those poems by heart.
Yes. By heart. Don't you?
Well, I never can remember verses. And besides, I've been too busy to read them all. But I assure you, I will the first chance I get. Believe me, Henry. Now, I need you to remember. Think very hard. Does the name Bumpus appear anywhere in those poems?
No.
You're quite sure.
Of course I'm quite sure. How could I use such a name?
Well, why wouldn't you? It rhymes perfectly well with rumpus. And you're a poet. My God, you ought to know that.
What does it matter? What does it matter now?
It matters a whole lot. Because if the name Bumpus doesn't appear anywhere in those poems, we can simply say that you wrote them for another Aurora. And that you only showed them to me because my name was Aurora too. So you see, Henry, we have to invent another Aurora for the occasion.
Oh, if you wish me to tell a lie.
Sure. As a man of honor. And a gentleman. You wouldn't tell the truth. Would you?
Very well. You have broken my spirit and desecrated my dreams. I will lie and protest. I will stand on my honor. Never fear. I will play the gentleman.
Go ahead, Henry. Blame this all on me.
I beg your pardon. I have growing pains, I think. process of going from romantic boyhood to cynical maturity usually takes 15 years. When the process is compressed into 15 seconds, growing pains are the result.
Oh. And is this the time for cleverness? It's settled then. You're going to be nice and good. And you're going to brazen it out with Teddy that those poems were written for another Aurora.
I'm capable of anything now. I shouldn't have told him the truth by halves, and now I will not lie by halves. Oh, I will wallow in the honor of a gentleman.
Dearest boy, I knew you would. I knew you would. Shh.
What is it?
It's Teddy. And he's counting his new barometer. Oh. He can't have anything serious on his mind or he wouldn't do that. Perhaps Georgina hasn't told him anything. Henry, please, pretend that there's nothing wrong, that there's nothing the matter. Please. I need you to give me my gloves. Quickly. Maybe if we act like we were just going to the theater and that everything was okay. Go away from me. Go quickly. Just go. Go quickly. Go. Maybe if you want to have a tune.
That tableau would be complete in its guiltiness. For heaven's sake, Mrs. Bumpus, let the club alone. You look like a pickpocket. Hello, I thought you two were at the theater.
I felt anxious for you, Teddy. Why didn't you come home to dinner?
Got a call from Georgina. She wanted me to go to her.
Oh, poor dear Georgina. I apologize that I haven't gotten out to see her within the last couple of weeks. I hope there's nothing wrong.
Nothing. Just anxiety for my welfare. And yours. By the way, John, I should like a word with you this evening. If Aurora can part with you for a moment.
I'm at your service.
No hurry. After the theater will do.
As it is, we have decided not to go.
Indeed. Well then, shall we adjourn to my snuggery?
You need to move. I should go lock up my jewelry since we're not going to the theater. Hand me my things.
Well then, we shall have more room here.
Oh, I think I should have plenty.
So if it's not disturbing you, Rory.
No, not at all.
Thing for a week. What?
No, Teddy, no! You shan't! He's a prize fighter. You will be killed. No!
I'll prize fight him.
Henry, no. Don't let him fight you. Don't let him fight you. No.
Got a most frightful bump on the back of my head.
No. Not until you promise. You promise, Teddy? Henry, do you promise? You both promise to be good?
Not unless he takes it back.
Oh,
He does.
take it all back.
Takes it back.
I take it all back, all without reserve.
Shake hands. Shake hands and be good.
I shall do nothing of the sort. I have steeped myself in lies for your honor, and all I get is the bump on the back of my head, the size of an apple. I will walk the straight path.
Henry, please, be reasonable.
It's no use! Your husband is a fool and a brute.
What's that you say?
I say you are a fool and a brute. And if you step outside again, I'll say you are a fool and a brute again and again. Those poems were written to your wife and to no one else. I told her I loved her, that I adored her. I told her so over and over again. And you know what else? I told her you were a sordid commercial chump.
Oh,
And so you are. You don't mean it. Yes, I do mean it. And a lot more too. This very night, I asked your wife to walk out with me. To leave you and get married with me. What she sees in you, God only knows.
My dear chap, why didn't you say so before? I apologize. Come, don't bear malice, shake hands. Make him shake hands, Rory.
Henry, shake his hand. Henry, shake his hand. Go on and shake his hand.
You've got to own that none of your literary heroines can match my Rory. Rory, they can't resist you. None of them. Never met a man yet that can hold out 3 days.
Oh, Teddy, don't be so foolish. Henry, I hope you didn't get hurt in the fight. Oh, you have such an awful bump on your back. Wait right here. I will get some vinegar and a paper bag. Stay here.
I wonder if you can do me a favor. I hardly like to ask. But it would be a real kindness to us both. What can I do? May I have these printed? It shall be done in the best style. Sumptuous binding, the finest paper, everything first class. These are beautiful poems. I should like to show them about a bit.
Oh, Henry, it would be nice if you wouldn't mind.
I'm past writing anything at this point.
What shall we call the volume? To Aurora or something like that, eh?
I should like to call it How He Lied to Her Husband. Woo!